Both of you say that you are strong on public safety. You just mentioned it here. These next two questions are going to touch on that. We want to start with juvenile crime. Mr. Ewing, you get this question first. Most people agree prevention is key. Get the youth out of situations before they do something. Give them alternatives to gang life. Both of you have talked about programs you've backed, but something more needs to be done, obviously, to cut down incidents of youth violence. And also, where should we be spending more time and money? And conversely, where should we be spending less? Mr. Ewing, a minute and a half.
Thank you. So I'll start with where we should be spending less. I think we have to be very careful about locking young people up and putting them in a position where we are labeling them as criminals, because once we do that, then we're setting a course that might be irreversible for most of our young people. So I think what I would look at, just like I did when I was at the Omaha Police Department, where I worked in crime prevention for 5 years and supervised the DARE program and the School Resource Officer program, I would look at programs that actually touched young people and give them an opportunity to be exposed to career opportunities, help them be successful educationally, because I believe that's the very foundation that keeps our young people on the right track. One of the things I've seen in my time working in this community is that when young people aren't successful academically, by the third grade, they begin to fall out and withdraw from society. So we've got to keep them engaged. We've got to expose them to the programs that are available so that they can have career success. One of the things I've done with the 100 Black Men is mentor young people. I've done that with teammates and big brothers, big sisters as well. I think we need more adults in this community to get engaged with our young people and do more mentoring to help them see the possibilities.
Thank you. Ms. Mayer, minute and a half.
Yes, thank you. Well, crime has basically three legs to prevent crime. It's prevention, it's intervention, and then it is enforcement. We need to be focused on prevention and intervention. One of the things that the city of Omaha has given $1 million a year to, now it's $800,000 a year, but is the Step Up Summer Jobs program, where between 700, 800 children that take part, are youth in this program every summer, to give them employment, give them a good job, and then expose them to a lot of jobs and careers that they are not familiar with, that didn't think that they may be a career that they might be interested in. For instance, the city of Omaha hires interns within all of our departments, law department, public works department, planning department. We all hire those summer interns. But to go back to juvenile crime, juvenile justice, it should be based on prevention, and it should be based on rehabilitation and not punishment. But if you have a 12-year-old that kills somebody, that murders somebody, those 12-year-olds are a danger to society, and they need to be detained. What I would like to see is, if they were detained, if they were separated from those kids that were there for minor crimes like shoplifting or truancy or things like that. Another thing is the PACE program that we put a lot of money in, police athletics for community engagement. And the city of Omaha is one of the major funders of the PACE program. And then a new restorative justice program. We have one now for adults, and we are forming one now for youth and children.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ewing, you get 45.
Thank you very much. I agree that we should be looking at prevention and intervention. One of the things I've done is I've volunteered and done a lot of community service in this community, including helping to start the Step Up program that does employ young people for summer jobs. I did that because I remembered my own career, where I started and worked in programs for the Comprehensive Employment Training Act, and one of the places I worked during that time was actually at the Omaha Police Department. So when I had an opportunity to join that organization, I actually went in enthusiastically because I had been there before. So I think we have to expose our young people to the career possibilities and ensure they have options and they have hope.
Ms. Stothert, 45 seconds.
Thank you. I wanted to bring up again the restorative justice program that we developed. We did it a pilot. Other cities are now interested in what we did, where actually the person that committed the offense and the police officer, hopefully the arresting police officer, get to meet and talk about what happened, how it could have been prevented, why it happened, and that has really helped both the police officer and the person that committed the crime. Now, we want to open that opportunity up for youth and juveniles, and I think it would be a great opportunity for some of these juveniles that just get into gangs or for whatever reason they have committed some sort of an offense, that they get to sit down and actually talk with a police officer and really be able to express what was going on in their life and how that officer felt at the time of the crime, and then also what he could do to help get out of that situation.